Good morning, guys, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. Reminder that there is no second best daily YouTube market stream. We got a full panel today, guys. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max, Tucker, Jackus, and Dr. Will's Outlook. Welcome, guys. I hope you've all had a phenomenal week, both everybody on the panel as well as everybody in the audience. We've had quite a bit of volatility this week, pretty much across every market. So it's been very enjoyable to trade. Lots of opportunities throughout the week to capitalize on. And we're going to be breaking all that down probably in review here, as well as, some upcoming opportunities over the coming weeks, right? To start the show, we did have another ripper in equities today. Do we see 4,400 today, or do you guys think that this is probably an area where we see mean reversion? I know that's something that we're going to want to talk about on today's show. Do we see continuation early next week? We have TLT ripping as well. But meanwhile, over in crypto land, you do have SBF, prison sentence for life, probably vindicating for a lot of people. It's pretty cool. If you were around during all that turmoil, to be able to see Sam finally arrested and, seeing justice for the crimes that he committed. So I am kind of interested how this impacts Solana going forward, especially relative to Bitcoin and Ethereum, given that Sam was its primary champion, right? How is the coin viewed going forward? And of course, we're going to talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum here. We've shown a little bit of weakness on the back of that trial, but do we potentially see a squeeze over the weekend, or do we continue the bleed? What's up, guys? What are we seeing in the markets? I feel like this has been a whirlwind week, to put it lightly.
I don't think that it matters what the hell happens to Sam. I'll be honest. I think that the idea that Solana can't succeed now that Sam is going to be in jail for life, he wasn't going to be around to push Sol anyways, in my opinion. I think Sol's doing much better without him. I think the best thing for Sol would be that it becomes like a real community project where there's maybe not like one face spearheading it, and it ends up being a lot of individual devs, cool projects, cool NFTs, whatever. I don't think it matters. I will say I'm a little bit surprised that Sam's going to jail for life, man. That's a little wild to me. I don't know what I thought. I just didn't think he was going to get life in prison, man.
Let's not lie, Max.
crazy.
We expect that the trial is going to go for 10 years and they're going to bail him out and he's going to live on some island or something.
He might get Epstein, man.
He might.
Right.
He might. You don't know if FTX was used as a money laundering operation for certain people. You never know. But I am of the opinion that it's probably not bullish for the Sun coin long term, just because he was not just the primary champion, but also the pump orchestrator, right? And we know how important that is for tokens. So somebody else will need to take up that mantle and change it.
What about Bald, Tommy?
Who?
What's gonna happen to Bald?
Who?
Bald
What are you
token.
talking about?
Bald token. That's
Are you
Sam's
saying
token.
ball or bald as in no hair? What are you talking
Bald.
about?
BALD. BALD.
That's that base coin, right?
Yep.
It's
that's
for
his coin.
Brian Armstrong, I think.
Oh,
I don't think Brian
bald.
is going to pump Sol, but
That was another.
if we do get somebody who's going to start pumping Sol, then that change my long-term opinion on it probably.
Wait, Tommy. We are pumping the Sol coin. The BB team is pumping the Sol
Novogratz coin. I will say, I've been looking at the coins that have ran the hardest over the last few days, and they're all of Alameda's holdings. So now that Sam is convicted, I am curious, if whether the weakness that we've seen in the last few days, if it persists, what that means for the market, whether that means a deeper pullback or if it means that there's just going to be a rotation to different coins.
Yeah, and speaking of weakness, the likes are a little bit weak right now. So guys, before we get too deep into the show, thank you guys for being here. Happy Friday to everybody. If you guys could just take one quick moment, whether you're watching it live right now or you're watching it live, well, not live, but you're watching the live recording later, please just take one moment. Make sure you're signed into your YouTube account and hit that thumbs up button for us. It really helps push the content, really helps the channel, really helps the show, and we love to see that like number get run up. Let's see where we're at right now. We're at 15. That's not bad. We just started. That's pretty good, but I think we can get to 20 pretty quick. Ultimately, the final TP will be 30 and maybe even 40 like it usually is.
No, Max. Max, no. We have to pump those numbers up, guys. Guys, we are giving you an insane amount of alpha every day here, okay? Going for 2 hours. And it's been all playing out to the pip. We want 50 likes, okay? And that's
I want
today's
100
life
likes,
nowadays.
Jackus. Maybe even
Oh,
200.
man.
No, that's too much.
By the
But
way,
yeah, we got to pump those up. You're right. They are rookie numbers, man. We got to do better than that. But guys, please hit that thumbs up button for us. Additionally, if you are new here, this is Because Bitcoin. We are a global financial media company with a very heavy emphasis on digital assets. This is Market Check. We are live here on YouTube at 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. This is the entire cast right here. We got everybody here today, so it's a very, very special day. So please like the video, please subscribe, and additionally, if you like what you see at any point during the stream, check out the first link in the description of this video below. It'll take you to our website, and you can sign up to trade live with us in the BB Discord every single day. It's a pretty awesome experience. But anyways, enough about that. I promise I'll only plug it twice, maybe 3 times during the stream. So we got one out of the way. I'll probably plug it 2 or 3 more times, but yeah. Tucker, let's post some charts, man. Or Jackus, I see you got your charts up. Who wants it? Who's hungry?
if Tucker wants to go for it.
What do you guys want to look at? Let's see.
It'd be easier to tell you what I don't want to look at.
What do you not want to look at?
Nothing.
Nothing. I knew you didn't have anything.
By the way, can you guys see the screen I shared in the private chat?
In the private chat.
I have to leave the...
Oh, it's a Discord thing.
It's a Discord link.
Is this a phishing link, Jackus? Are you phishing me?
No.
I clicked on it and
My
now
bored apes are gone.
I just didn't know how to share it though.
Jackus
Here.
just took Tommy's bored apes, man. Wow.
Did you put it in our Discord?
No, I'll do it. And then you guys can put it over, man.
All that Jackus knows is when it says allow transfer of NFTs, click accept.
This is a one NFT to buy though. Especially with what we've been talking about when we started.
So Tucker, the title of today's stream is Stocks, Bonds, and Crypto Are All Ripping. The Golden Rally?
The Golden Rally, man.
Market check. I want you to answer that question through your technical analysis.
Okay. Well, let's just put them all on here. All right. So
I remember when SPY was at what 4,500, and then Bitcoin was at what 25K, and now Bitcoin's at 35K, and people are fading SPY at 4,150.
Hey, Will, you're kind of cutting in and out there. Just a heads up.
Smash them likes, guys. Crypto Shark just wrote a fucking awesome comment, so we have to make it. Like legit.
Crypto Shark, thank you.
What do you say? Smash them likes.
Smash them likes. You gotta smash them, man. Don't
Smash
just hit
Smash.
the like button. Don't just gently poke the like button. Smash the like button. Like you should be buying a new mouse.
Destroy the like button until it cannot be fixed until Monday.
Yes, literally. You got to send us off with enough likes so that it gets us through the weekend, man. We need to build the reserves of likes up.
Yeah, man.
What up, Evan Casey? DXY, Hammer Time. Beautiful, Evan.
Yeah,
Legend,
hammer for DXY.
We told you guys. We told you.
Golden Rally right here. This is it right here, boys. All 4-hour charts. Rip. Right. I think Bitcoin can probably because what I was seeing on Bitcoin was like here. Let me just We need to go lower. We need to go lower. Yeah, we were just seeing this. This usually ends in kind of a fake out and a rip, which we're seeing, or it comes and consolidates down here and then nukes, right? So, because there's a bunch of stops here, right?
Tucker,
Stops here.
I gotta stop you there. There's no nukes. There's no nukes. But go ahead.
No, I know the first scenario played. Will, don't worry. I know any bearish
Will,
language
no
triggers
dips,
you.
brother. Don't even worry about it, man. Will, it's
No
literally
dips,
up only.
nobody
We'll
gets
never
an
be.
entry.
Will never below 34.6 again, brother. Don't even worry.
Exactly.
Ever.
Ever.
Ever
Yeah.
in history.
And for those that are listening live, not looking at the price, we're at 34.7 right now. So
Never below.
never
again.
below.
Yeah. So we took. I took
Look at
this
that
this
squiggly
morning.
lines.
I took this morning, and I saw it come back into here. I closed it about here, but it was a nice little punt. But I think we go higher. I think we probably at least come up to 30. I think we sweep 35K again minimum. Maybe we come up there. It's a decent spot on the hourly. So yeah. I'd say at least 35K again though. But yeah, I mean we're seeing rips across the board. But, I mean, with equities, this has been gap up after gap up after gap up. So I wouldn't be shocked if we cooled off a little bit here. But the bond market, I'd like to see this candle go green. But
what do we think about these gaps, though, guys? Are these gaps problematic?
The ones we're putting in here, because at least
across
on bonds,
the board, man. S&P 500, TLT, like a lot of individual names, they all have those same gap ups. Are they problems?
They are not problems. They are future supports.
Oh, but
Vertical
which one?
accumulation.
Because the one right below us, of course.
I think it goes. I think it goes to this second one, but it uses it as support. It fills the first one, and then the second one is used as support. It's also confluent with a breaker, the SPX one.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if you don't retest it, it's actually pretty bullish. I'd expect this one to get left for now. I could see us filling this one in and doing something like that, and then from there, it's either or it's that, So I don't know. I think you could see like 43.20 again. That's really shouldn't be too much to ask for, but yeah, we're going vertical basically. So. That's pretty aggressive.
I see those melodies in that right folder.
The what?
I see those my ladies.
Yeah, you see the ladies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're still pumping, boys.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That looks pretty toppy to me.
Caught the bottom yet again. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, all right. We're gonna put Jackus on the screen. I can't look at that, man. I can't look at that chart.
Give it to Jackus.
All right, Jackus. Oh man, what is that? Is that the Shrek pattern?
It's the Bear's rectum pattern.
I was told that DXY is like the dollar milkshake theory is about to happen, Jackus. Have you been told that as well? I was told that.
I was told that right here, and I was obviously giving people once again reasons why we will be topping up here with Euro USD, and this is just a pullback, and then people still think that we are going into some milkshake theory still, although like they still think that this happens. I mean, inverse Jackus thinks that happens too, right? But I wouldn't trust that guy. So, yeah, I mean, I think we are ahead of a serious drop right here on the DXY, and I've been calling for this rotation with logic. Why I think that happens. The main reason was that we've seen this insane move with gold. I do think that right now gold is topping right here on the short term, and I think we see a pullback I think we go this deep. I think we go below this wick and possibly even fill it right here. I could
I like
see
that
something
sweep.
like that. Yeah. Will, we have to remind once again how we've predicted the market. So I wanna, and I think it was right here. Sorry, it's the old chart. And we've been calling for, and you guys know that I
Everybody
am
tried to
heavy
say it was going to
bullish.
break out, and I was like, no, not going to break out here.
Guys, me and Will were calling right here, and we were both very bullish. We are both very bullish on oil on the longer run, and I do think, and I think it's in the charts with logic, we go to 200 oil in the next years, right? I do not know the time span.
Yeah, because I just saw the picture you posted in the staff channel. God.
Finally, yeah.
That too, yeah.
Just caught me off guard, man. That's something else.
Yeah.
Wow. Not
That's
sure
what
I
I
can
was.
even continue with the stream, man. I think I need to go home.
That's what I was sending in that private chat. That's the Discord link.
That's disgusting. That was just vile. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Are we allowed to share that?
Does it
I
involve
don't
my
think
lady?
so.
No,
Not on YouTube.
Not on stream.
No, no,
Maybe
no.
a Twitter thing. I think YouTube wouldn't like that.
No.
Does it
I mean,
involve
it
my
doesn't
lady?
show.
No, good luck, Will.
Well, it
Alright.
involves certain lady,
Certainly.
future lady. But yeah, going back to the charts. Yeah, we were expecting the upside on the long run, but shorter run, we were talking about, and I think this is very important because some people will just keep, some people will just keep calling for lower and some just for higher. But we also told you, and it's not easy, when we are bullish these things, it's not easy to call for that pullback. And we have right here live, and we've seen the drop, it's unfolding. And I do think that soon, very soon, people will be calling for oil going way lower, and then it's gonna turn around.
The second it comes down into that consolidation range, they're going to 100% be like, oh, it's over. It's below resistance. This is where you sell. It's going to be a deviation. And it's going to rip.
Right? Right.
Yeah. Inflation was never going to go away. I think there's a lot of people that don't understand that. The whole point is to keep inflation low until they can get the hell out of office. That's basically it. And a lot of people don't realize
legit, man. Yeah, we can expect that oil is probably gonna I can see it below the election. I can see it making that low, but then it's not gonna moon, right? It's gonna probably spend around this area, and then when there is the election, it's probably gonna start mooning higher. In my opinion, that's how it's gonna be. But we'll see. But yeah. Going back to so like all of these playing out, and this drop just makes perfect sense for the dollar. I think we go below these two lows and around this area, and then is it this one? Yeah. By the way, this is the longer term plan, right? For the Nasdaq, the 10-year channel. And the one I wanted to mention was this, which was one of the best moves, best plays. But I think we spend more time in here. I think but there is a good difference between this leg and this leg because, okay, Max, look at it. Look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this, right, and put it into a folder. Like this. And what I think is gonna happen right here is the difference where, look at this, we have created a support. This is the support, and this is where bears got very, very excited, calling for much lower. And we talked about it, it probably sweeps these lows and reverts, which it has. But now everyone's gonna get excited again. The reality is that I still think that slow grind up takes place. I'm not expecting anything insane from the Nasdaq. I'm expecting slow grind up over the months going into Q3, Q4 2024. My higher time frame stance is still the same. Luckily, these highs are all exposed for future takeout, but it's gonna take more time. And I think we maybe have one more day, maybe last day. Maybe we make a new weekly high on Monday, and then I'm expecting another shakeout. Maybe something like this. Maybe we don't go that low. We'll see. We'll see. But I could see this one playing out before we like slow grind up higher.
Jackus,
Go on, Will.
So if you look at this one, pull up Tesla. Exact same move on Tesla. And this is where a lot of people are going to get played here. You got that deep sweep, you got that rip back up, and then you got those highs. Those highs that as soon as you can get over top of that resistance line that you got drawn, that trend line.
Those equal highs right
rip.
there, Jackus, are getting hit. Where you have the eye drawn, that's getting hit. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the exact price I was looking for too, is that same high. And then a pullback and then a rip.
Someone was asking me privately when we were right here, what's gonna happen with Tesla? So I immediately saw this sort of chop, right? This liquidity buildup, and then I said, "Hey, both of these lows are getting swept." And what I would love to see for a bullish continuation is that this one gets swept first. And
what did you say there? What was the key word you said there? Just for the audience.
That we are sweeping both of these.
No, liquidity what?
Oh, yeah, liquidity.
Liquidity buildup.
Oh, yeah, liquidity buildup.
Yeah, a lot of people look at this as resistance. It's a continuation of pushing out the shorts as you're building shorts, right? The market builds shorts or it builds longs. Whenever the market's building shorts, you're on the wrong side of the trade if you're continuing to short. And whenever the market's building longs, you're on the wrong side of the trade if it's building longs.
Hey, Jackus,
right?
we're going to need you to look at Celestia, brother. Oziel said he'll super chat us if Will or Jackus look at Celestia.
Do we even have a chart on that? Is there even a chart?
We will jump into that one. Let's finish up here, and I want to jump into Russell as well, of course, later on. But yeah, when we were down up here, it was certain that we are running both of these tops. Because why? I will explain. Below here, if you're just gonna sweep, not that many people will be interested. But if you sweep this low, that means lots of people will open shorts, thinking for a breakdown lower, and you're gonna close lots of longs right below this low. That are like, if anyone was long over here, this is where this top is right now. So what they do, the market makers, right? They stop these people out, and they, with this, like, this is a confirmed breakout on the weekly. People are getting on the wrong side. The fact that we swept this low first means, and by the way, let me see the RSI. There wasn't divergence, although it would be nice, maybe a lower time frames though. But yeah, on the lower time frames, we could say that was the case on the intraday. Yeah, that makes more sense because we can more like RSI is not a wick. It's based on the candle closes. That's sometimes what people mistake. So there definitely was, once again. And if you guys remember what I was sharing the alpha yesterday, do you guys remember? Or sorry, the day before, on Wednesday. We have a major swing low sweep. Then we get another final sweep where people get really bearish, and we get that EM divergence. Sorry, RSI divergence, and then the market reverses. That's exactly once again.
You know what's funny with all this, Jackus, is you and I had never met before BB, but very similar trading patterns, and it's been a very successful trading year.
Indeed.
Based off of trading those trading patterns. Again, divergences I think are very strong. Strength is key to everything. It also tells volume, and this is why, like, when people make fun of TA and they say, "Oh, it's squigglies with lines" or this or that, it's like you just don't understand data. Because I can come in and I can show you squigglies with lines, or I can come in and tell you, "Hey, the range for Bitcoin for the first quarter was between 20 and 25K. For the second quarter, it was between 25 and 30K. Third quarter, 25 and 30K. So now you got 2 consecutive quarters that spent the same amount of time between 2 price zones after a lower price zone. So expectations are a breakout into the next price zone, which will be between 30 and 35K. That's how data analysis is done, right? It's just words, it's numbers, and that's how I would break it down as far as numbers. We show you charts on top of showing you that. If you know how to read those charts, you can understand those ranges.
Yeah.
When we talk about
Well,
them day by day.
So, Jack,
Well,
where's Tesla going from here?
Above these equal highs, triple
Yeah.
highs.
I like, like
That-
315. I like that level.
It's
360.
330, man.
Now everyone will look to short the pullback here.
After
I think
it
it
already
goes there.
made it.
Yeah.
Like once you recapture the low, like you should not be shorting. Like it's just
Yeah.
not the place to short. You short if you fall back below the low, right? If you recapture the low, you should be looking for long positions that may come back, but they're looking to bounce out.
And look at it. Each time I pull up one of these charts, I keep
Over and over.
reminding it over and over. Look at that weekly RSI bottom, and it once again, you cannot look at RSI and use it as a God tool. You have to use it as a confluence tool. But once again, look at it. Straight bottom. If you merely bought, look at it.
If you bought just the weekly bottoms,
180%, okay, whatever, and yeah,
the
just
weekly
like
has been the best trading, I would say, time frame all year on everything. Bitcoin,
Yes.
I used it on Bitcoin, I used it on Tesla, I used it on many. Like usually, I drop it down to the monthly to see what the liquidity is, but the weekly is really the telling position on where the market's actually trying to go.
yes, the weekly, in my opinion, as well, is the best swing time frame. And if we look at weekly, then this is very clear. We should be moving on Tesla up here. And it also makes sense with our equities narrative for the next year, right? So once again, it's everything falling together. Yeah. Sorry. RUT. So Russell, guys, look at that. This is what we like. The last time I was here on Wednesday, I discussed, and I was absolutely against everyone, right? People claimed, how can Russell, you heard it everywhere, how can Russell be bullish? You don't understand it. It's the most shitty companies. It's bad. Shorted, zero. Once again.
Okay,
Clean
Jack, what do you
narrative.
think about the gaps though? Go to the lower time frame, like the daily.
Yes.
Look at these gaps, man. They make me a little uneasy. I'm
The
not gonna lie.
higher the time frame, the more the gap matters. And the daily is not the higher the time frame. It's weekly, monthly. We don't have any weekly, monthly gaps.
That's true. I do think though that they probably get tested. I wouldn't ignore them. I think at least this one definitely gets filled. I think it comes back and retests this, but it's the overall play you want to look at, right? So I think something like this happens. It makes sense. Once again, the markets don't go up or down in a straight line. There are pullbacks and so on. But if you zoom out on the weekly, it's so clear that we are in a range. And on Wednesday, right when we were down here, I was saying, look at it. People are once again getting super euphoric on the bear side at range lows. And what happens?
And I know you're cooking, but look at that candle you got right there, and look at the candle right before the 2021 run out, all the way to the left. No, yeah, right above your blue box, that first candle, right there. Tell me those aren't eerily similar.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the same move.
That's true.
Because all the prior moves before this move were much smaller than that candle.
Yeah.
Do you know what else is smaller? The amount of likes that we've been getting this week.
That's
And it'd be nice if they can get a lot bigger. So if you
That's
guys
true.
could smash that like button, we'd really appreciate it.
true, guys. We keep giving you the alpha that no one is. And the like button, the number of likes is way too small, guys. So you gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Oh, we got
Okay,
Doc on
50.
camera. Will, you have to change that background, bro. I can't do another day of looking at that. I'll literally call the stream off. I cannot look at that anymore, man. Oh my gosh. Get rid of it.
SBF.
Get rid of
SBF.
it.
SBF in the background. Oh, we can't hear you, Will. We can't hear you right now.
Oh, you guys want me to switch it to SBF?
Okay.
Anything other than that. Anything.
It kind of reminds me of a hamster. It's like my background's got a hamster.
I don't care. Get rid of it. I can't, man. That's just.
You like hamsters, man? What's going on?
No, I like hamsters. I don't like whatever that is behind you, though.
Whatever.
Got nothing against hamsters.
Oh man.
Tommy and Tucker,
Yeah.
speak up, boys. What's going on?
They're
Nice.
opening puts.
No,
Oh,
I mean,
just
I'm
check.
in the market, man. I'm long
Just
soul,
go
but
ahead, Tommy. Go ahead.
no, I was just saying I was long soul from this morning still. So, but I think it's about probably capped. Maybe a
Well,
dollar.
Will you share charts with us, Tommy? Would love to look
what?
at. If you share charts with us, I would love to hear from you. What's your takes on the market and on the chart perspective? What are you seeing on the chart?
From the chart perspective, I mean, I will say
No. I want to see it. I want to see it. Like, what are you looking at on the chart?
All right, hold up. Let me get it pulled up.
Tommy's like, I gotta pull up my super secret sauce.
My
Exactly,
Tommy's got some good
that's-
charts, man. He's got some good charts.
Exactly.
see it.
That's what
I can see
what
it
I
in
wanna see.
Tucker's eyes. He's just dialed in right now. Whatever he's doing, man. He is laser focused.
I am dialed in right now.
Tucker,
Yeah.
Tucker's like, I gotta find a short. I gotta
No.
No.
No,
Tucker's in.
I'm just
He's in
joking, Tucker.
playoff mode right now.
I
man.
know. I
Like, look at
watched
that
him.
face right now.
I watched him punt this morning. He punted a couple longs.
Look at that
Tucker
face,
has a
man.
great
Look
hoodie,
at
by
that.
the
He
way.
got his face.
All right.
Well, let me snip
Oh
this
man,
real
you
quick.
guys put me full screen.
Yeah,
on, we
man.
got-
You were laser focused, man. Whatever you're doing, you were dialed in.
Yeah, man.
Hey, just don't say anything next time, Max. Just put him on full screen when they do that.
He's completely dialed in, man. Playoff mode.
Yeah, just scalping a little soul here, fellas. Real low time frames.
I hear a lot about bags, people holding bags, people selling bags, selling. It's like a lot of people are already washed out of these markets. They probably sold at significant losses and pretty much clapped their hands together, wiped the dust from them, and walked the H away. Right? There's a lot of people that did that after last cycle. A lot of people were exit liquidity, not additional liquidity. So I mean, I don't know about bag holders. Like outside of VCs, the VCs are the only ones with bags because they're the only ones that are going to distribute to you again when the next cycle comes if you don't take your profits.
What do you mean the VCs distribute on me? I thought that they were here for the long haul, Will. What are you talking
They're
about?
here to make money just like everybody else. I will say
What?
that, so I won't hate on them for that.
Will, I'm here for the friendships, brother. I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, this is the casino that comes once every 4 years. You get in, you get out, right? And that's basically it. When people start talking about, hey, I just bought a Lambo, hey, I just bought a yacht, it's time to exit.
Dude,
That's
it was the what it really was for me, man. It was the watch frenzy. Everyone was buying
yeah.
like really nice
Rolexes?
watches. Yeah. Yeah, like all the crypto watch guys, you know, that was
Little did they know there's better watches, but yeah, we can go with that.
What is
Or
what is the
No,
what is the
I'm not
Rolex,
I'm not saying that, I'm
Rolex
just saying,
index
like-
doing? What is the Rolex index
dude,
doing?
Rolexes are down, man. Rolexes
Yeah,
are
I was
down.
gonna say unprofitable. Basically.
I remember actually during the bull market, I was thinking about buying one. I ended up not doing it, but I had to get on a wait list at a local jewelry store here. And it was like a 9-month wait. And I was like, dude, I don't even know if I want one in 9 months, but all right, put me on the list. The guy finally calls me and I'm like, yeah, actually, like, I'm probably good for right now. Thanks though. And he calls me like 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago. And he's like, "Hey, I just wanted to check in. Like, you still in the market for a watch?" And I'm like, "Dude, what? Like, it's been like 2.5 years. You used to have like a 9-month wait list, and now you're cold calling me trying to sell me a Rolex. That's a sign of the times, there, gentlemen. That's something that happens when they turn off the money printer. You start getting the Rolex dealers calling you.
I had a real estate guy that I was chatting with, and I was like, "Hey, I want to buy like an acre or two here in Vegas." I was like, "Can you tell me like when you get something opened up?" They'd never stopped calling me since 2022 bottom.
Dude,
And like it's
toast,
like,
man.
dude, it's like I'm not buying right now. You guys keep blowing me up.
Like authorized watch dealers to get you one.
I found this authorized watch dealer. He had this nice van outside Chipotle, and I went into the trunk, and he had suits and watches. He told me they were all real and just discounted. Yeah.
Did he wear a jacket, like a long one?
He had a big trench coat. Yeah. Why? Do you know him too?
Yeah, I've seen him before.
Funny story, guys. When I was in Venice as a kid, we were just kind of walking the street, and I mean, if you've ever been abroad, you know that people will just try to sell you a ton of stuff by landmarks. And I don't remember where we were, but this one guy was trying to sell my mom this Prada purse, and he was trying to prove that it was real leather and not fake because of the price that he was offering. Obviously Prada handbags should cost a little bit more than that. So he kept holding this lighter up to it, saying that, because it's not burning, you can tell that it's real leather. I've always remembered that interaction my entire life.
My wife, she has a ton of different just name brand purses. I can tell you, if you ever want to tell if a purse is fake or not, just look at the stitching. That's all you need to do. Just look at the stitching, look for peeling. That'll tell you right away if there's any. If they're
the
fake.
moral of that story is Will takes care of his woman, man. Will buys nice bags for his woman, man. Good husband, good father.
You can tell just by looking at the
Will,
stitching.
I have to tell you this right now, man. I'm taking you off the stream until you change your background. Will's off the stream till he gets rid of that background. I can't look at it. It's simply too hideous. All right, he's about to change it.
Yeah, just quickly for one of the guys in the chat, or actually two guys, they wanted to know about rows. So I just made up this chart. What I think happens, I think we go slightly higher, touch this area of confluence, probably some fib level aligning there too. We reject. We retest this weekly level, which is confluent with the daily as well, daily support there, and H4 breaker. So nice area of confluence. We don't go here. That's what everyone wants to buy, on the retest. These never get hit because the real flip is right here. So if it goes down there, it's over. We go higher. We sweep this higher time frame range highs, fill the inefficiency on the weekly. That's where everyone gets bullish, starts to calling rose. Are you buying rose? I'm giving my girlfriend a rose today, blah, blah, blah. Then it's hates.
What is rose, Jackus? I actually don't even know what this is.
You don't?
No.
It's been last cycle coin that got chilled a lot.
Do you think it performs well against Bitcoin this next cycle?
No, these coins are dead. But they will do well temporarily, but they will not hit new all-time highs. If you want to look for new coins, look for coins like STDX.
That chart looks
These
pretty
coins,
good. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
This is okay. Do I actually share this alpha?
Not till we get the likes up. Save it till we get to 40 likes. We're at 33 right now.
Guys.
We're gonna go to Tommy's chart though. Tommy, let's go to your chart, guys. If we get 40 likes, Jackus is gonna serve you guys up some of the most alpha that anybody's ever given away for free on YouTube. But we're going to need 40 likes. Right now we're at 33. You guys always come through. Let's see if we can run this thing up to 40 likes. I know that there's 7 people watching right now that have not liked the video yet. There we go. We're running it up. But until we get to 40 likes, no alpha from Jackus.
Max, do you want to know what I call this one? I call it cuck. It's short for cucumber.
Oh, God. All right.
Okay.
Tommy,
okay,
Tommy,
guys. About the likes. quickly about the likes, guys. I want 45 likes, and once we get there, I'll share this alpha with you. So if there is not enough likes right now, okay, log in into that second account, give us that second like. Okay, do that. I want 45 likes, then I share that alpha on STX. If we can get there, share it with your friends, let them know, let them come, and tell them that they have to smash that like button. Okay.
If we get to
Tell
50
me.
likes, we may get the panda bear to come back to life.
Let's
may
let
happen.
Tommy cook. Let's let Tommy cook. I like
Let's
that one's so ugly. Well, what is that, man? Oh my
let Tommy
gosh.
cook.
All right, Chef Tommy, cook for us.
All right, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm really not trading that many things right now. I mean, I would say my focus is pretty much on Solana for most of the week, with the exception of equities earlier in the week. I'm not really looking to trade them up here, though. Sol, I mean, guys, I know a lot of people are going to love the high time frame possibility of, and, you know, my profiles will take a minute to load, but, you know, they're going to love the idea of this pullback here and then one last overextension. But I think when you look at, and I'm going to pull up Coinalyze, hold up real quick. When you look at Solana on Coinalyze, you need to see a return of the spot bidder. Boom. All right.
Nice.
So because on the daily, right, I view this as a very significant level of open interest. When you look at Sol price relative to how much we have exerted from an open interest standpoint to get here, I mean, it's pretty extreme, right? We filled the very last gap on aggregate OI. Typically, those are pretty meaningful. So I think for me, you need to see on a lower time frame, you know, we had this just massive Sol bid up here. We kind of have one here. You know, maybe it's good enough for another, you know, ride up to the range highs. But I would say in general, you know, I think you need to see not just the spot bid continue, but when we look at more granularly the funding rates, we can see exactly where longs entered.
Right at the top.
Yeah, right. This is the most telling thing to me personally, because, you know, you can see where people are trapped, right? I mean, people longed this entire structure right here. So they are now currently acting as supply. You can see here, you know, even though we were dipping, our funding rate was our aggregated predicted funding rate was increasing throughout this bleed. So we can also say that this bleed as well is going to act as supply. So you probably need to see, you know, I would say this region get flipped in order to get bullish again, because you have a lot of longs that are trapped above that. And I think until that happens, you could probably start expecting lower prices. Although I will say I was kind of expecting a little bit more of a shoulder here. Let me show you guys the little short idea I have, because, you know, not just are those buyers trapped, but for those who love the sell models, man, we're kind of printing one, by my estimation.
There's no better time to short, or not short, but long, than when you're at the top. There's absolutely none.
That was inspiring, Will. Thank you.
Typically those come back.
We can't see your trading view, by the way.
Oh, wait, hold up. Sorry. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, no, I feel like I'm seeing a sell model up here. I just was drawing it out.
I could see. I mean, I could see that.
Oh yeah, we did promise Ozil TIA, so we do need to get to that.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that for sure.
But that's what I'm seeing with gold right now, guys. I think that.
Let me ask you this, Tommy. What's your bias for Bitcoin and ETH right now? And I know we talked this morning in the Discord. You said that perhaps Sol BTC and Sol ETH are both locally topped, but what do you think for Sol and Bitcoin? Just because if you're bearish on Sol and you think it's going to 27, 28 bucks, maybe if this is a sell model,
you mean
I imagine you'd have a slightly bearish bias for both Bitcoin and ETH also, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I'll tell you what, Max, I kind of see a sell model here. I don't know if it's going to play, but I can see the sell model forming, and I don't like how overheated derivatives are. One of the things I was kind of warming up to actually is that when I was looking at price action, this entire price, or the entire movement in price that we've seen from the FTX low to now, is like a very elongated version of what happened here. Where we set this low. This is the equivalent of the FTX capitulation. You had the BART, and eventually you ripped, and it was just we've had a much more elongated and low volatile version of up to this point probably. So, maybe we continue higher, but I'm almost kind of wondering how this would play, right? I mean, if this top is in, we essentially just range for the rest of the year. And the real pain trade is shaking everybody out into the ETF announcement with a pump afterward. What does that look like? That's something that I've kind of been considering over the last few days, because like I said, I definitely do believe that derivatives are overheated, and being levered long up here, it seems very reckless to me. And I think the context of, I remember trading this, right? I mean, we had high after high. There was the ceiling that we couldn't break out of. And then eventually we faked. I mean, this was the most savage bull trap I've ever seen. I'm not saying that we're going to replicate something like that, but given the look of derivatives, both from a Bitcoin standpoint as well as altcoins, I don't know that a wipe like this is completely out of the question in the near term before, we see higher prices. But
I don't know. Like, that's, if we were to see that type of move, like it's to me, it's structurally just different. Like, I don't really see the structure similarity here, because you're already in your rip phase right now. If that's the case, you've already shifted away from that pullback. So now it's
chop. Then you get the sweep, and then you go up.
No, I get the thought process. I'm just like, if you go back to that area real quick.
I don't think we go that low.
Could you imagine how destroyed everybody would be if we went back down below 25K?
I think we'd probably get a wick to 25. I really don't think we wick below it. Maybe something like that. Like I said, you float up into, March or April or whatever. You get whatever happens. I don't think we drop that deep, but maybe to 20K or something like that.
Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the 25K. We're going to low 20s, and it's eerily a very similar look. Like, I almost feel like we could range higher, give longs more, and bait more longs, and then pull back.
What's the saying about 3 or 4 taps at resistance? You fail the third, you go below the structure, and then the fourth is the breakout.
You could.
What are the MAs?
Hold up. But I'm gonna stop sharing. But I remember Hisaka posting.
No. To me.
Hold up. Let me turn my camera off.
Okay. But don't stop sharing the trading view. And let us know, Tommy, if you want. What are those MAs you are using? I'm interested. Looks like MAs, not EMAs, but MAs.
Yeah. I mean, the MAs look like a strong sweep up. That's what they look like to me from what he has there.
12 and the 21 are the white and the blue. 12 and 21 EMA, and then the 100 and 200, I think MAs.
Are they fixed on any time frame, or are they just
any time frame? Yeah,
chart?
just the chart. Yeah.
So it's 12, 21, 100, 200, basic.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember Hisaka posting one time. It's way back in his old Twitter days from 2018, 2019 about the third and fourth tap at resistance. And one of the things I remember that really stuck out was that the third resistance can often be a false break, and then you come back and sweep the previous structure lows. But the fourth break, there's literally 0 pullbacks at all.
Yeah, I would say,
don't think this can happen from the structure perspective. From the weekly structure perspective, this cannot happen. I can see that one happening on lower time frames if it was that structure. I just cannot see it on the weekly.
I would say this on the monthly on gold, this already happened. What you're talking about, right? So gold it happened. Bitcoin it didn't happen. And if you wanted to pull up gold there, Tommy, real quick, we can look at the exact structure you're talking about specifically, because like I do get what you're saying. Now, if you just scroll out quite a bit,
You mean like monthly, right?
yes,
Well,
on your monthly, correct? Yeah, you got a 1,
maybe
2,
we-
3
maybe we-
tap of the high, right? And then you got the pullback. So if you were to draw a line across all those highs, you did tap 3 times and pulled back, and you're getting that exact structure you were discussing, right? Where you got the higher low, you got the higher low structure pullback, and now you're ripping back into it, and that's your sweep. Like that's the one where I would look for that, right? This one, it's already broken out of that range. So the 3 tap's done. Like if anything, I would say if it were to come back, it could use it as support, but I don't think they're going to give that to people. It's almost like an NVIDIA play where NVIDIA kept twapping and twapping and twapping, just up and up and up. And this is what I think that Bitcoin is in that type of momentum where it can just keep twapping. If you go back to the beginning of 2020, going into 2021, very similar moves and structure over there, where once it broke out of the zone, it basically just kept twapping, pulling back, and then twapping again, pulling back, twapping again, pulling back.
You mean like this?
And no, not that one. I'm talking about because that was the end of the cycle, 2020 to 2021.
This was not the end of the cycle. I mean, this started the run up to.
If you looked at the RSI, your strength was dropping. That was a false move.
Well, I know it was a false move, Will, but I mean, you have to. Volume is dropping as we've come into this high, and you have not seen a persistent spot bid come in up here.
So what
it's going to push it up rather than a derivatives washout.
I'm just saying, like that's to me, because it was the end of the cycle and it was a strength dropping move, not a strength rising move. It's more of a 2020 to 2021 as far as price goes. So like this, if you were to pull just go to that area specifically and look at 2020 to 2021 and look at where we started to break out and where price just kept breaking and breaking and breaking. I mean, there's always a price that matches, but your center there is not matching up as far as what happened.
I mean, it's the same type of structure, Will.
No.
Yes, it is. It is.
You got a rounding top.
I'm not saying that this is going to just nuke to 25K, guys, but you're lying if you're saying that the structures are not similar.
I will prove you it's not similar on my chart if you want.
I'm looking at it right now. I can see that they are similar.
No, it's just randomly put out fractal over.
It's I just laid out a contextually similar scenario, which you haven't even addressed yet from September of 2021. These are the exact same structures.
I agree on you with the fact that there will be an OI flush. I do think that too. I do not see this fractal being the same. I'm like happy to disagree on this one and discuss our thoughts, but I'm not seeing that, and I'm willing to hear more from you and try to convince me, because I want to be if I'm seeing something wrong on what you are saying, but I'm not seeing the current one that you used being the same fractal wise. But I'm much willing to hear more from you, because it's the opposing ideas or thoughts that we learn from.
That's the whole point of the comment. It's not at all to disprove what you're saying. It's more about to understand the thoughts and consider your thoughts within our own, right? And especially mine. Like I'm definitely interested. I'm interested in anybody's bull case. And it's not to laugh. It's literally just to understand what angle that they're thinking about the chart or how they're thinking about it specifically and stuff like that. And that's why I think a lot of people right now, especially believe me, at 25K, bro, I didn't even feel like telling people price is going to go back up. It was just bro, it's just everybody was literally talking shit to me on a daily basis on Twitter and shit. And I was just bro, it's there. All the price is there. And I just stuck to what I thought. And maybe at the end of the day, maybe you're right? It's just it's more about you just giving me the thesis of your thoughts. But I would say, like, if we're going to entertain that, we should also entertain the beginning of 2020 to 2021. I'm saying entertain both, and let's talk about both and see, you know, what we could think the consensus could be, maybe between the two of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Tommy, can you please entertain that fractal once again? Because I really didn't see it there, and maybe I'm missing something out from what you said.
Yeah, let me load it up.
Yeah, everybody on the team here is like, we're all killers and stuff like that. I mean, everybody's been right at some point. I've been wrong, right? I mean, when I thought we were going to see 35K, that wasn't the time. I was wrong on time, right? And we had to roll back and come back into it again.
Again, what I'm saying is that contextually, to me, as well as price, both look similar as far as the price action that we've seen this year from the FTX low to what we saw in 2021 off this low here. I mean, this bottom looks very similar to the FTX bottom, and then this structurally looks very similar to what we have seen throughout the year. What we've seen has just been much more, it has just been lacking the historical volatility that Bitcoin typically presents.
Can you tighten that up a little bit, just so we can kind of see both?
That fractal that you are using of 2021, of that sort of June 2021 low, that one to me fits rather if you drag it from January up until March. There I would fit it, right? If it's that upside, and then the shakeout lower, that's where it fits to me.
Not got your first shakeout here.
Structure. Yeah.
Very similar to here.
Yeah.
You've got multiple pushes into a high time frame supply and resistance, the eventual breakout, and the eventual breakout got spit out. And I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but I do think we are overdue for a derivatives washout, especially when you see altcoin volumes and funding get like this. So
I think on the altcoin side for sure. I just don't know about Bitcoin.
So I'm looking at this and I absolutely see what Tommy is talking about. Let me see if I can share this. My damn.
Yeah, no, I definitely see it too. I just want you to know, Tommy, like, I see what you are going for here and what you're talking about. I'm just saying, like, I just don't think that that's where we're at. That's all. And that not because of thought, because again, I think we're closer to the halving, and I think we're like 2020.
And so where I think that Tommy's point is really strong is that when he said, like, okay, so back in September of 2021, that move that we had that was like literally straight up. Maybe Tommy, you could scroll back to the left real quick and look at it. The September 2021 high. Yeah, right there. You could for sure draw some comparisons and say, like, everybody thought that was a breakout, you know, and it certainly looked like a breakout. And then we just completely nuked. Where I think it's slightly different is that, damn it, why can I not share my screen, man? It's so annoying how, like, half the time it allows
now
me
you
to
know
share
how
my
I
screen,
feel.
half it doesn't. But I think what's very different about the two, not to say it's invalidated per se, but the difference is the move that we had this August, where we dropped from 29 to, 29 to 25. I think that might have been, most of the derivatives flush that probably needed to happen, where we didn't have, I mean, that was the move that we had recently in August of this year from 29 to 25 was the second largest liquidation that we've had since FTX. That was a pretty good flush out. We didn't have a similar flush on the way up and that September fractal that Tommy's looking at. So that's where I think that maybe they're slightly different, is that along the way up to 35 here, we had, no more than 45 days ago, we had a huge flush already. Not that we can't have another pullback, but that's really the big difference that I see. The fractal lines up for sure, but I think you take into consideration that we had a huge derivatives flush 45 days ago on this leg up. I wish I could share my screen. It would just be so fantastic if this worked, but it doesn't want to work. So
I'm ready with my screen. I wanna point that fractal onto a different price because I think it's slightly different. And where this fractal lines up is exactly this run up with January. You can see that this is this one, right? I'm gonna do it again here. This fractal is right here. That's the fractal, in my opinion, because here, if you want to be using this fractal of the, and I by the way think we get this OI flash here as well. I just think it comes. I'll jump into that. This one though was same. We got that first upside from that FTX, just like Tommy was saying, right? This area was pretty much similar. I do agree. Then you get that upside, right? You get that first upside, and then you get the first bounce out of this range, right? So think of this one, and then right here. That's the same. This is the first, and then what do you get after, right? So you have this move down, and then you get follow up, and then you get another follow up, and then you get the OE flash. Then you get sort of that bear market structure. Although people forget right here, and I remember that people forget that this was inside of this one leg. So until this low, the market structure is not broken, and then it once again uses it as support, waits bears here, and continues higher. I think that's the same here, basically. It went up, and it kept creating, right? So like this move down is the same. Then you have that follow up. Then you get another follow up, right? Higher. You build those longs, you build it OI, and then you get the flush. Just like here, you get the flush, and here you get the flush as well. Here you also got like one, then you got some upside, another flush, blah, blah, blah. Here it was very similar. You got one, sell off, right? Small bounces, and then final capitulation, and then you get it, fuck you upside. So I think this is the same. You get the fuck you upside afterwards. And then you have to collide the higher time frame context to it. So right here, we had all this upside made from this leg down. So this was the leg down, and anything in here is a retest of this move. And where do we get, right? We get and close this right here. We close this support, we retest it, and we make the reaction there. But then we continue because of the local structure. And here it's also different on the higher time frame right here, because let me put on the weekly. So right here, the context is so different because we have just reclaimed this higher time frame range, and we made the base right here just below it. That, in my opinion, is the major difference right here. And then I do think we get it OI flash as well. We could, like, for example, I don't know exactly how it happens. I think we could go like this, and then we get that OI flash. Maybe we even get this, right? So basically, what I see happening, Tommy, as you said, with this OI flash, and let's try to actually do it like this, right? This is how we entertain your OI flash scenario, which I think happens as well. But I think we just get a retest of this higher time frame range. That's how you gotta, in my opinion, use the fractals to understand the lower time frame fractal perspective, but also applied to the higher time frame context. So I think
I understand how to use fractals, Jack. As I'm saying that I think I don't think that the time frame that you're applying it to is necessarily applicable to the context that I'm using it for, because you were right in that 2021 of September was so devastating because of the fact that it wiped out weeks of residual open interest, particularly the open interest that built up in the mid 40s. And that's exactly what I'm saying could happen here on a larger scale, right? Because not only does the pattern look similar, but you have months of open interest built up and unswept lows now below 25K or 26K. And that is why I think it is contextually similar, more so than, I think that the price looks the same.
Okay, but if you're gonna get this sweep, then this breaks the structure below these lows. Like it breaks the higher time frame structure if you're gonna get below.
Tommy, are you thinking that it's more of like just a giant wick below 25K maybe if it happens, rather than price actually accepts below there on a higher time frame?
No, I mean, I could see us on a broader scale doing the price action that we did in the wake of that wick, right? And I think that's probably a more painful trade for everybody who is trying to position ahead of the ETF approval in Q1.
I would agree. I would agree with that. And one thing that I know we're not talking about this, but one thing that I will not let go is that there's a CME gap down at 21K. And I know, and by the way, Jackus, I asked you this the other day. I said, show me one that hasn't been filled. You showed me the one at 9K before the run up. It was partially filled. That one was partially filled. We wicked into it. This one is completely naked. Like we haven't touched it at all. So I will say that's a little bit spooky. I don't know when it gets tagged. Maybe it doesn't get tagged, but it would line up with Tommy's fractal if something like that did happen. And I don't know the timing of it, but all I know is that we have like 100% hit rate. Yeah, I know. But that's an inefficiency. That's not a CME gap. It's slightly different.
Because CME wasn't, it wasn't active here.
Yeah,
it was introduced at the top.
I know, but there's inefficiencies all over. Bitcoin was what, like $1,000? Yeah, I mean that's
okay.
an inefficiency.
It's a valid argument that the CME, like it's a fact. Okay, and I'm gonna give facts on both sides.
And we know that gold and silver did that too. Gold and silver had the nuke. Bitcoin never had the nuke. You know.
Yes. Although, BTC had this nuke and gold and silver hadn't.
That's
right?
true.
The FTX
that's
nuke.
true. That's true.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
And that's very important too to realize. And yes, it's a fact that there is a CME gap down here. But as I've been saying, not all gaps, not all equal lows, not all supports get retested, filled, and swept on the downside. We see that each cycle that there are many ones. Like for example here, right?
But where you're wrong is that every CME futures gap gets tagged. I have not found a CME futures gap that has not been at least partially mitigated. But I could be wrong if I haven't found one yet. And just to be clear, I'm over 100% long right now. I think we're going higher, but I haven't found a CME futures gap that hasn't been filled.
Right here.
Is that a weekend gap up, or is that?
Yeah, that's a gap. Friday, Tuesday.
No, but see, there's a wick right there. That's the difference. There's not a gap. There's a wick right there. There's an absence of a body candle, but like I'm talking like a literal CME gap. There was a wick.
Oh, I gotcha.
There's a wick there. I can't find one. Maybe I missed it, but I've never seen it happen.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, if that's the definition of the gap you want to use, that in that case, I don't think there is one opened.
And so the last completely unmitigated one is at 21K. See, even that one, we did wick into it, So if Tommy's fractal does play out, I'm telling you, the global bottom is
right here.
No, we wicked into it. We wicked into it. Look at the wick.
No.
Yeah.
It's open. Look.
Jackus, we wicked. No. We wicked into it. Look at that. Pull it up. No, that's not the gap. The gap goes higher than that. The gap goes to the wick above.
I'm not following. Oh, you mean? Oh,
yes.
I gotcha. No.
Yes,
oh,
that's the gap. Okay. We went into the gap.
I gotcha.
I don't even think.
I understand.
I mean, I don't even think we need to trade that low.
Well, I disagree. We need to go into the gap because I need to see it filled. I don't like looking at it.
So what you are missing, right, is you would love, like, for example, here dip, right?
At this point, it would serve me better if we didn't do that. But I think if we are talking about a nuke, then I think there's no way in hell we go down to 23K and don't go into that gap. I think if we're going below 25, we're going into that gap. Not to make this a whole CME gap fill conversation. I know we were talking about a fractal, but I'm just saying if Tommy's move does play out, that's where we're going. The gap.
Yeah, I just wanted to understand your definition of the gaps, because to me, like, I have different definition that I use myself. So for example, even this is a gap for me, right?
But there's not an absence of price there. That I use a gap as there's a complete absence and a void of price. There's wicks right there. You know, there was price action there. It filled itself in.
Yes, but there is no difference between this and this, because, well, there is small difference, but like the difference is not that big, because it's about auction theory of the markets, and if the markets go in an inefficient way up, that means there were lack of orders in this move, and that, like, maybe there were few orders inside, but there are in the middle, there are many gaps inside that there were placed no trades, and the price simply spiked higher, right? So this is not that much different from all of this. So like all inefficiencies, all of this is basically the same thing. So if you have a, for example, 24/7 trading market, that's why this gets filled, by the way, because the price was inefficient. And it's just that CME doesn't trade over the weekends, but the reality is that this whole move down, whether we're going to use the classical chart or the CME chart, is that these were the inefficient moves, right?
I agree with you. No, like I understand. I don't, trust me, I do not want us back down at 20K at all, man, at all. It'd be terrible for business. It'd be terrible for my portfolio. I don't want to have to go into straight down mode again. I will. But there's a couple of things I want to transition from this because we're over an hour now. I know we're going to keep cooking. Yeah. We got to get to Ozil's. He's going to give us a super chat if we do some TA on. I think it was TIA is the ticker.
TIA.
TIA.
I want to.
And then additionally, Jackus, we got more. Over 45 likes. We're actually at 49. So you do owe everybody the alpha now.
Okay. So how do we proceed? By the way, guys, I appreciate it. The floor of our show is now 50 likes. Remember that, and we keep going up as the market keeps going up, and as our predictions keep being true. Yes, I love that. So how do we go? I would love to see Tommy cooking more, and I do owe the people the alpha on STDX. So which way we go from here?
Tommy, perhaps you'd be so kind to do some TIA.
Oh man, TIA. Do they finally have it on TradingView now?
I think they have it on TradingView. I think I saw it the other day. There's not a ton of price action, but I believe it's on there.
Oh man. All right, let's do it.
Because it got listed like everywhere, at this point. So we're gonna have to. It's probably the Uniswap one. Oh gosh.
I want from, is there a better way to distribute than to list it everywhere before you distribute?
Probably not.
Man, I'm always so confused which one of these two to look
at. Might be a Dex Screener thing, right? Can we pull it up on Dex Screener? Or no, it's not even.
I'm still waiting for Tommy's chart, though. Tommy's gotta cook.
Tommy's gotta cook.
We
might need some of his derivatives data on this too, because there it is. Because this is kind of how you have to use a little bit of the Coinalyze data to trade something that doesn't have much price action, right?
Maybe. Yeah, I'm trying to find it on.
They got listed on Coinbase, so there should be a. Well, that's probably the best one.
Derivatives data right now.
That's probably the best chart.
It looks pretty good, man. I mean, as long as a good rule of thumb for airdrops pretty much all year has been as long as like that initial little bottom holds, it's been a pretty good, local low to play off of.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what derivatives look like.
Tommy, do you use with that volume profile? Do you use like more sharper data to get the better area of the average of the point of control, or do you just use the basic one?
I have my everything's set to be not as granular.
Yeah.
Tucker's been trying to get him to go more granular for months now.
200 rows. That's
But if
the
it's
way.
not broken, don't fix it. You know.
I'm just really interested in like the way other people view the markets, right, and how they use it. Because like I know about these tools, but each of us use them differently. That's what's interesting.
All right. So it looks like these are some trapped longs right here. But you have people who hedge probably a little bit early that are shorting. I think it's probably too early to tell. But if you can get a breakout outside of value, then I mean, you can probably just run a fib extension. That's usually how these things work.
Oh, Zeal, thank you so much. That was very, very generous of you. Wow.
Appreciate it.
Wow. Very, very kind. Thank you. Very, very kind. Ozeal is setting a good example for all of you. All right. Be like Ozeal.
So a really nice trick when you're playing these, by the way, these profiles is when you do see acceptance outside of the profile, you can just throw your stop at the point of control.
Are you back on TradingView, by the way? Because we're looking at CoinAlyze.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, there we go. I threw a bit of extension on there. I mean, if you're going to get a break out of these volume profiles, you typically just throw your stop at the point of control. That's how you play these trending markets typically. And if you really want to, you can break it down even more granularly to context, right? So we had this dump candle. You saw longs get washed out. Therefore, you probably start targeting shorts if you can accept above this level, right? Which is a little bit more, refined than using, right? I mean, you're talking about entries here, but entries matter in this game.
They do.
Yeah.
Can you show us where the trapped shorts are? Since you showed us where the trapped longs are.
Yeah, no, the trap. I talked about that. There are a bunch of hedges that came in right here, so it's probably going to buoy us for a little bit until they get squeezed out.
Okay.
Are there any
Yeah,
trap
that's-
shorts from the most recent drop, like that 3-drive pattern into the point of control?
Let's take a look.
That would be an interesting one.
I don't know if they're trapped yet, but they could be if we so they'd be like right in here. So you'd need a pop above 2.44, which is like right here.
So that could call for a drive, right?
Yeah, if you can break that market structure.
Tommy, so you're waiting for that value area high to flip and then go long on the flip?
I mean, that's how I would trade it. I don't know that I'm trading this coin right now, but that's how I would trade it. Otherwise,
listen, Ozeal Wella says it has a 50 times potential, 50x potential. Maybe we should pay more attention.
I know Wabi's
What,
been talking about
TIA?
it for a while.
Look, all these airdrop tokens. I'm just going to tell everybody, all these airdrop tokens are VC exit liquidity tokens.
Cope will, underexposed Cope will.
Oh man, but I bought some.
Said the
You
Cope.
remember the other day? I literally told you guys, and I bought a decent amount.
Still coping,
I
Will.
know what they are though. I'm gonna get out before they take my money.
Cope will, still coping.
I'm taking the money with them.
Cope.
If you can flip this
Jackus, you made a promise. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tommy.
No, I was just going to say, I think if you can flip this liquidation candle, it's going to look a lot better.
Yeah, that'd be really nice, man. So flip 240, mount that consolidation, potentially good long setup.
Yep.
Beautiful. All right, there you have it, Ozeal, from the quant himself. But Jackus, you made a promise to the audience today. You familiar with what that promise was? Because they delivered, but you haven't delivered yet. They came through.
I will deliver.
Okay.
I'm gonna deliver.
Okay.
I wanted to hear more from Tommy on BNB.
Oh man.
Before I go into ST.
In a minute. Let's take a look at it.
BNB actually looked kind of good. Like I think I looked at yesterday, maybe. It was like the only thing that was green. I don't know what to think about that.
We should start making hedges against our likes, and then like if we get to a certain like max, then we just continue to stream longer. What do you think
No,
about
bro,
Yeah.
we'll be here all day, man. Oh my god, we'll never get off here.
24/7 stream.
Will, how
BB
many
stream.
different devices have you been on since the stream started? I'm pretty sure it's 3. Am I
How many
correct?
different what?
Devices.
I like
Because your
four.
picture, because you were initially on your phone, you were in the car, and you had a different background, and then you went to your computer, and now you're back here, but you don't have the picture anymore. So I'm like, this has to be
Is
the
this?
third
Oh,
device,
this one's
right?
Will's Outlook. Yeah, this is third. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild, Will.
I don't have them all in. I don't have them all in sync. One's Caroline. One's Will. I think I'll make an SBF.
Yeah, we could do an SBF in jail background. That could be cool. I can't believe he's going to jail for life, man. I almost like, I don't want to say I feel bad. I mean, I'm just like, I didn't think I don't think he's like a malicious person. It's just in my gut. I literally feel like he just got way in over his head or something. And
I think
I
he's
think he's a
malicious.
sociopath, Max. I'm not.
I
gonna
think
lie.
he's
So do I.
malicious. I
Yep.
think he's
okay,
malicious.
you could be right. I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
the
because
reason
this-
why.
Max, anybody
like-
who donates to charity, anybody who pretends that donating to a political party,
Anybody who donates to
Anybody-
charity will.
anybody who pretends that they drive a Honda and that they're righteous when they have billions of dollars, they're a sociopath, straight up.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Do not donate to charity from Will's Outlook, all right? If you drive a Honda, you
How
cannot
dare
donate to
you
charity.
donate to charity?
No, but here's the thing. You know why they're donating? Not because they care. They're donating because they get a tax write-off. That's literally why they're donating.
Dude, that's
Well,
why
sure,
that's
sure.
why everyone donates to charity, Will. I hate to break it to you, like everybody does
I
that.
gotta wash my.
There's a
my
reason that
funds
all these
in charity.
charities promote that and say, yeah, you can deduct like half of this or, you know, all of this. Like everybody that donates big does it because they can get a tax write-off from it. Like everybody will.
Not only that, they own the charity they're donating to.
And I will say this, it's not a bad thing
That's
that
the
you
problem.
can deduct your charitable contributions. It's a good thing.
What if they own the charity? What do you think about that?
As long as a charity is doing something, you know, meaningful, I think it's fine.
Do you not think it's literal money laundering to own a charity and then donate to your own charity?
Yeah.
That's not for me
I-
to determine. That's not for me to
It's not for
determine.
me to determine.
I just want everyone to be okay, Will. That's all. Everyone needs a little bit of help.
I mean,
would like to see
what
the books
Max
on those
says,
charities.
what Max says makes a good point. So, like, it doesn't matter what the intentions are with the charity. As long as the end result is that someone donates to the charity, and then the charity hopefully uses those funds to help the actual people in need, right? So even if he does it from a selfish reasons, someone that donates to charity, it's still donated money to some people in need, and I think that's good. But I also think that what Will says, that if you like gonna donate money to your own charity, then reduce your tax, and then probably also not gonna do anything with the money and donate to anyone, then that's pure probably money laundering.
And there's a lot of people who do that. A lot of people who do that. They own their own charity. Nobody knows. Remember the Clintons? We don't have to get into it, but they were definitely
Careful,
doing
Will.
that
We're
too.
on YouTube, man. Careful with all
My
this
bad.
now.
I'm sorry. I meant
Will,
the Simpsons.
I'm gonna mute
Sorry.
you, Will. Don't get us banned now. Take it easy.
In the event of federal investigation, I have no idea how I got in this group. I do not know these.
I don't know these people.
All right, Jackus.
I clicked on my
it's
phone and
stack-
ended up in this chat.
Jackus, it's stacks time.
It's text. Okay. I was
We got
hoping to hear
51
more
likes,
from Tommy.
Jackus. 51.
I love
likes.
that and appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. Oh, look at that. Look at that, baby. Right.
Press coin.
Sorry.
The Hal Press coin.
Mm-hmm.
How press coin? What is
His name is Hal Press, but he's an ETH guy that Bull posted the crap out of it in Q1.
Of STX?
Yeah. I people just like to kind of make fun of Hal Press. I'm actually bullish on STX for the next bull run, though. I like this coin as beta to Bitcoin.
Yeah, legit. So the alpha here, guys, is that, and let me start from a clean chart.
Look at this man with his folders.
Look,
Wow.
you can't fade
I'm
that marketing.
learning.
You cannot fade that marketing
Blah
on
blah.
stacks.
I had no idea how to name it,
Beautiful.
man.
Yeah, very nice.
But I'm learning and slowly getting all those folders, Max. And it indeed is something that I was missing, that I didn't know about. I was missing, right? So yeah, slowly getting there. There are still many charts that are on like different folders, like this US oil. Sorry, different pages, but those will quickly fade away once they play out. So yeah. Anyways, guys, STX. So the alpha behind STX is that it's a Bitcoin. So it's a Bitcoin DeFi or Bitcoin finance token, right? So what you are betting here, and I think this is going to be big as we go, is that the Bitcoin will start to have its own ecosystem as we speak, right? Because BTC is the most secure, decentralized network out there, and there is the actual work behind. So, like, if you, for the known reasons, believe in BTC, right? And I think that's like the best case in crypto you can have probably. Then there are all these projects that are starting to pop up on top of Bitcoin layer, and we've seen that with ordinals, with the NFTs on BTC, and I think we're gonna see the same run. And I think it's a great narrative for this cycle to have, that we're gonna see all these projects launching on top of the Bitcoin layer, and in my opinion, could be the next major adoption of BTC also because of this, right? So basically, these projects, in my speculation here is that all these projects will go up a lot as BTC goes up a lot. So it's like from the fundamental perspective, your bet here is that if you are bullish on BTC and want to outperform BTC, then there is no better way than do it. And you are sort of like a Bitcoin maxi as well, where you are really into BTC and don't want to touch anything close to Ether, because I think you can like now outperform BTC with Ether as well. But if you don't want to touch Ether, for example, and you want to stay within the BTC ecosystem, then, for example, Stacks or Riff or a few others are the ones to pay attention to. And if BTC is going to go up and it's going to do what we are telling you guys we think it's going to do, then these are the coins to be invested in. Because if BTC goes up, this goes up way more. We have seen that over this move as well. It doesn't go like straight 1-to-1, right? That's also not what you want to see. If it was just 1-to-1, you can just go leverage long on BTC. But generally speaking, like when we've seen that upside in BTC, we have seen that upside in STX. Then now BTC is that's in that form of accumulation. STX is making a pullback, but now jumping in onto TA on this is one of the most cleanest one, and I think it hits, if BTC goes to new all-time highs, which I think it will in time. I think STX goes up there as well, and that's very solid move there, right, for the project. I think it goes higher than, we know that each cycle these can go a little bit crazy, but simply looking where we are right now is one of the most best times to be invested in, right? Because what we see is this big major support right here. And by the way, like if you guys are one of those guys that cannot be glued to the screen or don't want to make like trades every week or month or so and just think like, I'm gonna buy something that's at a good spot, I think this one here right now is the one. And I will jump into why I think that. So this was a major level. This was the last major level reaccumulation before that parabola began, right? This was the final upside. But then what does the market do? It comes back and retests this area. Proves it was it was the one block of price. There was lots of volume inside. That's why we see it bouncing here. It uses that and does that familiar 2021-22 spike above new all-time highs, just like BTC and just like many other coins we've seen, like Ether, Cardano, blah blah blah. And then there's the bear market sell-off that follows. Because why am I talking about this? Like, you guys might want to be only interested in what's happening now, but if we want to understand the context, we need to understand what was happening before, right? And how we got there, how we got to where we are right now. So then there is the wild 2022 wild bear market sell-off, and obviously, like, historically speaking, you could say that this was obviously the best time to invest, right? But at these times, you don't really know what projects are going to do well. It's all looking very bad, and generally you do not care, do not trust these moves. Then we get the eco bubble pump, and this one is very important, because what happens here is that on the higher time frame, you get the reclaim of this higher time frame range, and this is the impulsive move that solidifies this project, right? This is the move that solidifies the project, that it's not going to die. Like many other coins can have similar structure, where it had the bull market, right? And then it had only the sell-off, and then it continues to bleed. And then when it does, probably is that it pumps at some point, but then continues to bleed while it only retests its bull market levels, right? So think of this area being much lower, and then it only comes back to retest this area. Whereas this one...
Oh,
well.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. If you're cooking, you can go finish cooking, and then I'll comment.
No, I can continue cooking after. Go on.
So the one thing I wanted to point out is how the market always tends to come back to retest the zone. A lot of people, they get faked out in the move. They buy the pump, and then they sell the dump because they think it's going to go lower. And then it finds support, then bounces, then finds support again. And then people still are in disbelief that price is getting support. And then at that point, later on, the shakeout actually occurs, and that's your rip, right? Your real rip out of this area. And that liquidity move can move all the way up there to that higher zone right there, right just where you were at the high there, which is that higher high that we basically formed a lower high from. Nope, up more, if you could.
I'm not sure what you mean right now.
So go higher with your mouse. Right, yeah, down a little bit. But I would expect a little bit up. Sorry, above where we are, to the left, your left high.
Oh,
right there. I would expect like our next swing could take us potentially up to that area, and that's where a lot of people are going to get played. They're not going to buy this. They're going to think this thing's over. It's going to dump, and they're not looking at the liquidity zones and where they are on the higher time frames. They're just looking at these smaller ones, and they're missing the bigger move.
good point, Will. And I don't mind if you guys jump in. I can continue later on. And I know because many times when someone is talking, you get all these ideas that start to come up into your mind. And it's very tricky because you don't want to cut the person speaking. But at the same time, if you let him speak, then you forget what you wanted to say, right?
That's
So honestly-
definitely.
It
So-
looks a lot
so
like
I-
CFX. The price action since the start of the year looks a lot like CFX.
Yeah, I can jump
Chinese
into
magic.
that later on too. Okay, actually, Tommy, you're gonna jump into CFX after, right? I want to see you cooking after.
Oh,
So
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
finish
if I
up
have
with
any
ST.
on CFX, man. I punted
Sorry?
longs on it. I punted longs on CFX a few months ago. I don't know if Tucker remembers the CFX pumps, but we were getting in on trading that coin. But I
Is
don't
that
know.
the FX token, or is that something else?
It's the Chinese Matic, Will.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
The Chinese replications are always the best, man. Anyway, jumping back. So yeah, we got this pump, then we got the secular pump, right? Similar to this one. And then what happens? This solidifies this project, reclaims the range, but then we get the sell-off. And this sell-off is to really shake people out. But what really happens is that we only get this higher time frame range retest. But we do that in a way that shakes people out. So This is the slow market bleed. It takes all these people out right here. And then some people start to get bullish here. And then what happens? We get another shakeout. And what you want to see is what I keep on saying. I keep on saying this on every market, whether it's yields, whether it's BTC, whether it's whatever. The market structure, someone can look at this and think, hey, this is a bearish market structure, right? The reality is it's within this leg. So because it's within this leg, it's a reaccumulation. It would be different if it was like for example here, right? Because here we have broken below this one. So the moment we break below this low, this is a bearish retest. I know it can sometimes get a little bit weird, but you'll get it if you follow me more closely over time. So what we got here, okay, now it starts to get interesting, and we had to get to this point this way. We did. So we had this initial impulse solidifying the project, and then we get to the accumulation phase or the reaccumulation phase, because there was already accumulation down here. Now it's reaccumulation, and now the retail people are selling because they think it's a fake. But reality is we are accumulating right into this support. It's not only this support, it's also the moment right here, right? If you would go to like monthly, this is when that depression phase started. And look at that. We had exact level right here. Look at those touches. 1, 2, 3, respecting higher time frames, right? Then what happens here is that we have broken out of this falling wedge. Then there is the slow reaccumulation. Now I'm going to overlay slightly with BTC down here. Already BTC, right? And look at it, right? We had this slow bleed up. And then when we get that upside on BTC, we got that upside on STX as well. And now, in my opinion, this is, by the way, why I think BTC is going to be bullish as well, because I'm seeing bullish signs here too. And I will get to those here. But we got it upside. Then BTC starts to reaccumulate, go sideways. This one does pull back a little bit lower. But then I think we're going to get further upside and BTC is going to follow. And now going back, this is the best place to be in, because once again we got that initial reclaim, that slow bleed, and now we are getting these impulsive legs higher. Look at these impulsive legs. This is where big money is buying as well. They are not just buying on the way down, they are also buying on the way up. And then let it bleed, let people sell, let people FOMO at the top, and then sell back to them, right? This is how they navigate it. They don't just buy on the way down. They are also T-upping and so on. And this level right here is very important reclaim, because with this move, we have now reclaimed this level. And look where we are bouncing, by the way, right? Maybe we can go even to like 3D or something, but it's basically this area. That's how you want to look at it, right? You don't need to be that precise. Generally, we are looking at this area, and this area has been now flipped, and this is the area from which we had the final shakeout, that capitulation. It went right below this low, and there was accumulation after. We get a market structure break right above here, and now this is a perfect retest. What happens here? Maybe a few days of accumulation, but then we get upside. What do we have here, guys? An untouched highs everywhere. This is a perfect spot, best risk to reward, the right timing of everything. You're not buying down here yet. In my opinion, this is where it really starts. And then what happens here? You get the weekly market structure break. So you get the daily, but then you're going to get the weekly. And the weekly, you're going to get above here, right? So what happens is that the next move is above here. Then you're going to get the retrace. and then you're gonna get higher, and then what happens? You're gonna get so like this is gonna lead to the cascade of things, where this then becomes the future support on the weekly, right? So this is how the market starts to. I'm gonna show you an exact same Matic play. I actually made this one back in the day. It's not the same though, but this is exactly how the market starts to roll over, and it starts to go, and then it leaves these highs open, and it tends to reaccumulate, and then what happens is that the market starts to pump. It doesn't have to be like this though, but like you start to see the rotation being in the market right down here. This is when I played it in 2019, and I think the similar situation is right now here, where we are sort of reaccumulating, and you need to see the bigger picture, the bigger context. And I think right now is a great opportunity. Look at those wicks. Look at those wicks, guys. This is a clear accumulation down here. Everything is getting bought up. All of this is getting bought up strong. Each dip bought so much. So you can think of it, this whole area is accumulation. So you are still early. You are very early. And I cannot stress this out, how good of an opportunity this could be over the long run, right? We can, and I mean, like, we could even, if I jump in, maybe we jump in. I don't care even if you would go there one more time.
Jack, so the thing that a lot of people tend to miss is they miss those wicks, right? If you get wicks like that at the high, it's a clear resistance. If you get wicks like that at the low, it's a clear support. Like, you always have to pay attention to the wicks, because if you're getting lots of wicks, those are shakeout moves. They're pushing into liquidity zones to get people to go short, and they're just continuing to build shorts on those wicks, right? And then at a certain point, they're going to rip away and they're going to take all those shorts out. And same thing with longs. Like, if you're at the highs and you're continuing to wick really hard at the highs, they're going to do the same thing with longs. They're going to, and you can see it right there. Look at the path down. Look at those longs at the highs. You can see every single drop or major drop happened after a major wick up, right? And that's where they predatorily pulled back. And I know that's what a lot of people fear. They fear that pattern's going to continue, but that pattern only continues for so long, and then eventually it just reverses. And then you're getting the opposite reaction. You start to get the buy up, right? You get the mark down, and then you get the mark up phase. And if people looked up those two things specifically, they would understand the structure switch that's kind of occurring right now in a lot of time frames.
Yep. Good input, Will. Exactly, man. Like, on the lower time frames on H1, people are getting swept, and they are missing the bigger picture that we are getting these heavy buys inside of this. It's a trap. It's a trap, yeah. So what people are missing is the context of the overall thing, and that's what I described to you, because that's what you need to see, right? And yeah, as Will was saying, it's a trap.
And on that note, with that picture, we're going to call it a day. We've been going for an hour 45. So, Tommy, if you would do us the honor of taking us out. We did a number on the like button today. I feel terrible for the like button, man. Just got totally beaten up today. 53 likes, 54 likes.
Right.
Yeah, you guys are unbelievable. Man, we didn't ask for that, guys. We asked for 45. You guys took it way too far today. Way too far. But Tommy, go ahead.
Well, it's nice to see that people who smash buttons for a living are able to also smash the like button. Thank you, guys. We really appreciate your support. Like Max has been saying, it really helps us with the algorithms. So we can't thank y'all enough for this little Friday gift. Hopefully y'all had a fantastic week. And then, real quickly, I can kind of shamelessly plug that we do have some premium content available in our Discord. You guys can get the link to that both in the description of this YouTube video as well as the link tree of our Twitter bio. But without further ado, guys, it has been a week with lots of volatility and lots of opportunity. Hopefully you guys were able to make some money. Hopefully this stream was helpful in doing so. But yeah, y'all have a great weekend. Spend some time with your family. And of course, we'll be back on Monday. Thanks again.
Thanks.